Hey guys, this is Dr. Brooke Williams,
And this is Dr. Desiree Leach.
and this is episode one, season one of Unwritten Curriculum. And we are the co founders of Color and Medicine.
And we're so excited to kick off this journey with you today. And our goal with this podcast is to really talk about the things that aren't always in PowerPoints, the things that you don't learn from textbooks, and really the guidance that you can learn from experience and mentorship and just navigating spaces where we're not always represented.
Right. So, exactly, hence the name Unwritten Curriculum. So, Dr. Leach, Dr. Des, not sure what you're going by quite these days, but the people want to know, who are you?
So, my name is Dr. Desiree Leach. I am a doctor by title, scientist by profession, and I currently work in clinical and medical affairs in the Windy City of Chicago, Illinois. But I am a Southern girl to the heart in the roots. I went to Coast Carolina University and I graduated there with my BS in biology. Thereafter, I went to University of South Carolina School of Medicine, where I received my doctoral degree in biomedical sciences. I met my way to the Windy City, and I completed my postdoctoral fellowship at Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine. And I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay. Well, that's a quite of a resume there. Yes, you are very well accomplished.
Thanks, bro.
I wouldn't have it any more than having a superb business partner like yourself. So
So sweet.
yeah.
So why don't you tell the people about yourself?
So I guess I will piggyback on that lovely introduction. I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. But similar to Dr. Leach, I am also a Southern girl, born and raised here in North Carolina. Went to North Carolina State University for my undergraduate degree. And then I went to Hampton University, the real HU, HU, for my master's. And then I came back down to North Carolina for medical school at Campbell University School of Osteopathic Medicine. And then I made my way up also to the Windy City for my internal medicine residency training. Lived up there for about 3 years, and then came back down here to North Carolina, where I am practicing as a double board certified internal medicine and obesity medicine specialist.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we're booked and busy getting things kicked off with this podcast, mentoring, starting to expand on my non-working life, traveling, seeing friends, meeting new people. So it's been great.
So, Brooke, tell us, what does unwritten curriculum mean to you?
So, unwritten curriculum is essentially a way of passing along, you know, things that aren't in the textbooks, things that we've learned along amongst our journey, excuse me, things that we've learned among our journeys of getting to where we are now. This is not A plus B equals C.
Mhm.
These are life lessons. These are things that were passed on from our mentors about how to navigate this space, especially in such a unfamiliar area, especially when you may be the first person in your family who's a doctor, first person in your family who's a scientist or engineer or, any of the health and STEM professionals. So we just basically wanted to create a space where we can continue to mentor amongst the masses and then also bring some of our colleagues up here to give a word of advice.
I love that. I would compound that by saying we are in an environment where I would say maybe we're one of few.
Mhm.
And so we don't have the blueprint and how to navigate in those spaces, um, and just understand like life and just the nuances of not even just the technical part of it, like learning and knowing what we know, but also just friendships, relationships. Um, Even confidence, as far as entering into a workroom or an environment, and then navigating spaces, doing all of that, but continuing to do your work. So, hence the reason why we created Unwritten Curriculum.
Yeah, absolutely. Does so just humor me. Do you remember how color medicine was started?
Yes. So, color medicine was started almost 8 years ago today, 7 or 8 years. We were established in November 2018. And I remember it was during Thanksgiving holiday. I reached out to my friend, now colleague, Dr. Williams, and I had this idea of creating a nonprofit organization And I didn't know how to get there, but I knew who I wanted to be involved with the nonprofit. And so, Dr. Brooke Williams and I were working as she was in her residency, I was in my fellowship at Northwestern, and we were already involved in our own diversity initiatives with our organization, but I felt like we could do more. Chicago is a city where there's a lot of opportunity, but sometimes it's not within the right, I guess, environments or locations, and so I felt like we could give more, especially when it came to, like, just different communities, South Side communities, CPS, Chicago Public Schools, and so I reached out to Dr. Williams, and I asked her, "Hey, I have this idea. I wanna create a nonprofit, that really focuses on promoting minorities into STEM as well as medicine," and she said, "Okay, tell me more." So it started from there, an idea, and we are here today from that seed that we planted years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, it was literally I was at home on Thanksgiving break. I was we were me and my mom were pulling up to a gas station. Des calls me and was like, "Hey, you wanna start a nonprofit?" And, like, again, we know people, we got friends who have 1,000 ideas. You agree to it, but it'll never come into fruition. But this idea did. We met literally every free Saturday, Sunday, free weekend, or free day period, at Starbucks, Panera, each other's houses,
Yep.
and y'all, we didn't have any money. Like, I was in training. We
It's
didn't
the
pay a
truth.
lawyer. This was, like, before AI, so we didn't have ChatGPT to navigate how to start a nonprofit.
How to write a business
Yeah,
proposal,
business
yeah.
proposal. So, I mean, all you need, like Dr. Leach said, is just an idea, a seed, and then just the willpower to continue to go get up every day and say, you know what, I said I was going to do this. I'm gonna do it. And so, yeah, we built literally color medicine from the ground up. I think that's what makes it so special to us. It was never given to us. Like Desiree said that, building a business plan, submitting it to the IRS, getting it the information back from IRS, making adjustments, and then not just that, but also, getting our trademark, all of these things we had never done before. So
Mhm.
let's pat ourselves on the back.
Of
I
course.
think we kinda take ourselves for granted as to, yeah, we said we were gonna do, but I definitely think this is pretty cool. I mean, it was just you and I from the beginning,
Certainly was.
just trying to navigate this space similar to what people were, I'm sure, listening to us trying to navigate the space that they're in. So,
Right.
um
I would even add to that, even developing a team, was difficult. And as Brooke mentioned, we were all kind of working in our own spaces. And so we were like in the trenches in our fellowship and residencies. And we, brought people on to also assist us with the day to day of the organization. So building that team was very curated, but it was very intentional. And so just happy to have the members that we had to create, to put this into fruition, Color
yeah,
of Medicine. So it's been great.
does when we started color medicine, we have no money. We didn't
None.
have, a board that could fund our idea, no trust fund, no nothing.
Right, it
Okay.
came out of our own pockets, and I remember, like, working in my fellowship and, fellowship money is very minimal. So, to start the organization, applying for the 501(c)(3),
Mhm.
using our own money to do that, the trademark, using our own money to do that, and then also just working through, like, with IRS as far as meeting the criteria to establish a 501(c)(3) without the prior knowledge of,
Yes.
knowing how to do it in the
Yes.
beginning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this took time, effort, and it took going back and forth, and
Yes.
so it's amazing to have what we have today considering, the lack of information we had, but it was something that we learned together
Yes.
and, through trial and error
That we're
on the
still
fly.
learning, I'm
Of course.
no expertise by any means, but, like Dr. Leach said, it just takes one idea, one seed. Andre 3000 recently said that great things start in small rooms. It kind of resonates with me in regards to color medicine. It was just a phone call, something very simple, simple request, something small, right?
Mhm.
And now we have grown into something big, and I know next year it's gonna be even bigger. bigger than what we can even imagine. So I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of kick off this year, 2026, turn the page. So I'm ready for people to hear, a little about you, me, and everything else in between.
I wanted to add to literally and figuratively to that, like, it started from a phone call.
Yeah.
So and then, there were many times that Dr. Brooke Williams and I were in a small room, like, literally,
Yeah.
I would be at her house, she would be at my house, or we would be in the boardrooms at, Northwestern University, and we would sit down for hours, hours developing our business proposal, developing our website, developing our initiatives, and really trying to figure out the curriculum that would be involved, to help our students. And so it really was a seed that was planted in a very small room. And I mean, also that figuratively as well, because sometimes I feel like we can create blocks in our head, and we had to kind of push this idea beyond imagination.
Right.
And that's essentially what we did.
Right.
Like, and that was through spending hours together,
Yeah.
sitting down and like, doing the homework.
Yeah. Absolutely. Homework outside of our actual work that we.
And what was our food for that homework?
Oh, yes, our our honey peanut butter with the Ritz crackers, and
Yep.
to this day, anytime I go to Des's house, first thing, or going into the cabinet, like, "Listen, where's our snack at? We
That
gonna get some
is
work done. This is what I
brain
need."
food.
So, yes, brain food. That is what we were living off of, during our residency and postdoctoral training. It's Ritz crackers and, peanut butter with honey, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
with honey
Yes, with honey,
is
asterisk,
essential.
so does we've done so much in the last 7 years going into year 8,
Mhm.
2026, right? 26 is my lucky number. So what are you most excited about for color medicine next year?
Personally, I am very excited to be working in my discipline. So, as a scientist, I will be working on developing lab kits for a student cohort, and we'll be performing simple lab experiments and really planting the seed on what is science. And then to that point, what does a scientist look like? They'll have exposure to not only a scientist, many scientists. They will also be able to see what a lab looks like, see what a simple pipette looks like, what a funnel hood looks like. And I'm really excited to be planting that seed early and give these students the opportunities to perform these experiments, but again, to see what science is all about. We also have some partnerships that we are really working on and honing in on for the new year, and so I'm really excited to be partnering with other nonprofit organizations and just really work towards our initiatives. But Brooke, tell me what you're most excited about.
2025, we had so many things that we were involved in. We were partnering with Chasing Medicine, which was another nonprofit organization
Mhm,
helping pre-med students and med students matriculate through their journeys. So I definitely want to continue fostering that, helping foster professional development, excuse me, getting the headshots. We're offering headshot experiences for students so they can make sure they put their best foot forward, making sure they have a polished and poised look for, LinkedIn, their, residency applications, their, um, doctoral applications. Just again, it's always a great thing to have headshots. And then, of course, trying to create that brand visibility amongst social media. We are wanting to sell merchandise because all of our proceeds go back into the organization, 100%
mhm,
proceeds go back into the organization to help foster, scholarship funds so that we can help support other students. Just like, last year we were able to give a scholarship to a student to help go to a, conference. So that was
mhm.
really cool.
And I'm very excited about being able to do that. I feel like there's been a lack of funding, a disinvestment when it comes to um, people that look like us, minorities. And so I feel as though it is our job to assist with that. And so last year we had the opportunity to help a student go to a conference after funding had been taken away from her program. And so she was able to attend this minority based conference. And it was wonderful. It just felt good to be able to provide that opportunity. So that's something that we're also tapping into this year. Something that I'm also really excited about is really building our curriculum for our one-on-one kind of mentorship. And so that's something I really want to push forward next year and make sure we develop that a little bit more Tell me, what do you think the biggest unwritten rules in STEM and medicine is?
Well, the biggest. I would say, not letting imposter syndrome keep you from achieving your purpose in life. You
Mm.
know, imposter syndrome is something that has been kind of like a buzz phrase amongst all different types of sectors and, professional settings and personal settings too. But, imposter syndrome can keep you from achieving what you're put on this earth to do.
Yes,
And yes, you are doing great things, but you gotta remember who you are and why you're put on this earth and what you're equipped with, right?
agree.
So just because you walk into this room and you're one of one does not mean that you are not well equipped with handling and delivering I'm messing up, sorry, that you walk into this room and that you are not meant to be there, that you are
Exactly.
not the professional with that name badge that's written on there. You are Dr. Leach. I am Dr. Williams. So you got to walk in there with a purpose, with your head held high, and that
Right.
you know your stuff, and that you're going to deliver the message, and that you're just as good as anyone else
Just as
sitting at that
capable.
table. Yes.
Right. And I've suffered from that as well. Even within the beginning of my fellowship, there were often times that I doubted myself, and I think it came from the lack of just not seeing as many individuals that looked like me within my program. And so oftentimes I felt like maybe I'm just here, just to fill a quota. But I also have to remember, I think it's the affirmations of, like, I'm here for a reason.
Right.
I earned my spot at this table. And so, I have had to, like, I still deal with this today, but it's reaffirming myself, I'm here for a reason. I earned this spot. And so don't let anyone's projections of how they think about you
Mhm.
be the reason why, you feel that way about yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? And then also I feel like, to overcome that, it's important to have supportive friends, supportive colleagues around
Exactly.
you. And so I have been very intentional about the individuals that I've curated around me, my tribe, my people.
Absolutely.
And I feel like because they inspire me, like because they're so great, they inspire me, and I'm inspired.
Yes.
And so we just build and we pour into each other. And I think it's
Absolutely.
important not only to, reaffirm those things to you, like, I'm here for a reason, but also, having friends that pour into you and say,
You are here for a
yeah,
reason. You are
exactly.
Dr. Leach.
Yeah,
Look into that mirror. You are that
exactly.
girl, right?
Looking into the mirror,
Yes,
right?
yeah, look into the mirror. You are that girl.
Mhm,
So, yeah, absolutely, creating that network and similar to what we're trying to do with color medicine, networking,
mhm.
creating opportunities again for exposure, exposing you to people, who will be your best friend 10 years from that first moment that you never thought, that small seed, that conversation, that phone call. You have to continue to build, your network is
It's
only as big as
crucial.
your net worth. So you just got to keep on building and making sure you put yourself in spaces that continue to help blossom who you're meant to be here on this earth. So,
And to your point, one of the things that we have done in the past is partner with organizations that really kind of speak to gaining that self confidence. And so, one of the organizations is Young Ladies at All Times,
mm,
and they focus on worth, building confidence. And I think it starts at even such a young age. Like these students, these young ladies are
yeah,
in elementary school,
right.
and so it's important to pour into nurture and provide that level of confidence for this next generation.
Right.
And so not only are we speaking it to ourselves and our tribe individuals, we're also pouring it into other, young ladies through the organizations that we partner with.
Absolutely. So, hey, if anyone's listening, if you have any organizations that you think we would partner well with, please, please, please like, share, comment,
Mhm.
send us a DM. Visit our website, www.colormedicine.org. We also have our merch here, a nice little tumbler. We have our some of our swag on now. So yeah, we are excited. We are ready
Mhm.
and we are eager. So
Yep. We are busy with our initiatives this year, and you will see them kind of pour out into 2026. And we're excited about what we can do to really give back to the community and to inspire. So,
Thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us on episode 1, season 1 of Unwritten Curriculum. We're so excited for you to join this journey with us. And
yes,
so, yeah, 2026, let's go. I'm ready.
let's do it.
All right. Until next time.
Bye now.
Bye.